Welcome back to another episode of Caps Cornerstore, where we bring the corner store feel everywhere and anywhere. I go by the name of Caps, and today I have the honor and the privilege of being with one of the dopest upcoming rock and roll stars known to mankind, Emily Ryan. How are you, my dear?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
Listen, we're happy that you're here.
I'm excited.
You know, you're part of the corner store now.
I
man.
love this.
How does it feel?
It feels very New York, which I love.
Yes.
I'm happy.
I love it. See, this is the New York way. See, we always get a bad rap. Like, we don't like to include people, but you see.
I feel included.
You feel, well, I'm so happy.
I'm happy.
Well, like I said, Emily is a up and coming rock and roll star.
Yeah.
Give us a little bit about yourself, your background, how you got to New York.
Yeah. So I moved to New York when I was 19. I moved myself here. It was a little bit of a project. So I knew that I always wanted to be here for a lot of factors. But kind of when I grew up in Detroit, and when you're an upcoming musician in Detroit, you can't stay there, right?
Gotcha.
Like, there's a great music scene there, don't get me wrong, but if you want to, tour the world, you can't. You gotta go. And I don't sing country, like we said, so I can't go to Tennessee. So it's really New York or LA. And I'm just not an LA girl, like, realistically. So I knew New York for the whole time. So really getting here was like the challenge. So basically what I did is I saved up as much money as a 19-year-old could save. I had 3 jobs. And then I was already in college. Gotcha. I didn't really want to be in college, but I was in college in Detroit. So I was like, all right, the easiest way to move here is to transfer. So I applied for transfer, and I didn't really tell people that I was doing it. And then I got accepted, and I saved a bunch of money, and I went to my parents and I was like, hey, cool, do you want to drive me to New York? Cause I'm moving. So
you just dropped the bomb on your parents.
Yeah. So they did. I sent in all the deposits, I did all the things, and I paid for 3 months of dorm housing.
Gotcha.
And then they drove me here with 2 suitcases of stuff, and then dropped me off. And I was like, okay, well, now I have to get a job and figure out how to be a real person and also get famous. So, which is a project.
Yes.
This isn't
I would say both.
city to function in. So I was like, all right, I'm already in school. I guess I'll finish going to school. But I got, a club job, and I worked at the 40/40 Club, and I got multiple jobs because it's expensive, and I, moved out of my dorm because that
Gotcha.
was crazy. And then basically I just started working slowly on how to become an artist here. And it took a really long time to I was starting from scratch. I didn't know a single person when I moved here.
Gotcha.
So building up, a catalog of people,
Gotcha.
I don't know,
yes.
a
Rolodex,
a Rolodex of people, but really finding people to work with, and was hard because at this point, I didn't have anything to show for anything. I've sang my whole life and I've done theater my whole life, but I didn't. What does that mean?
Yeah.
That's not rock and roll.
No.
I didn't sing with a band. I knew that's what I wanted to do, but I didn't, whatever. So building that up took me years. But after being here for maybe 5 years, I started really getting my groove. I started meeting producers, and I started meeting people in the industry.
Gotcha.
And I started becoming a singer.
Gotcha.
And then, I guess 6 years in, I released my debut album. So it worked. And now it's a slow build of getting better and better and better.
Gotcha.
But, finding the footwork to sing rock and roll is crazy.
Sure. Rock and roll is, I feel like rock and roll music is a lot like hip hop.
Yeah.
I think at a certain point in time, it got so popular that you had such an influx of people trying to become a rock star.
Yeah.
And at the same time, to me, it kind of waters down what rock and roll is. Rock and roll has always been a very expression-based, a very expressive art form. Touch on what made your style of rock and roll. Was it your background? How did your background play a factor into it? How did your surroundings play a factor into it? And just the process of moving from Detroit to New York, how did that all encompass your style?
Yeah, so I think growing up in Detroit, there's a lot of, I know it's Motown, Detroit's, but there's a lot of rock, in Detroit, a lot. So I grew up around it. My dad, loved rock and roll my whole life. I mean, he still does.
Gotcha.
So I grew up listening to a lot of, I don't know, Aerosmith and Motley Crue and all of us, and all those guys used to play Detroit. You know, we used to see them. I used to go to every concert
Detroit Rock City, man.
of everything Detroit Rock City. So like I grew up with a lot of that and I always loved it. Like, don't get me wrong, I love a little bit of everything. I always loved the pop, you know, the whole, but I specifically listen to a lot of that. And I love, I think, the instrumental of it. I love listening to a track and you can hear the guitar and you can hear the drum patterns. And I think it makes the music, especially when you're seeing something live, better.
Of course.
In my opinion.
100%. Live show is always better with a band behind the performance.
Yeah. So I always knew that that was kind of the direction I wanted to go. And then like, of course I started sort of in a pop lane because I know I want to be, you know, Billboard top 40. Great. So that like leans a little pop. But I've always said pop rock because I'm not like the bubblegum kid.
No, I wouldn't say that.
I'm a bad bubblegum kid. Like I don't, first of all, like I can dance.
Yes.
I don't want to do that. Like I want to drag a mic stand around stage and like a little dance, sure, but like dancing.
Well,
yeah, a little movement, not dance. Yes. Maybe that's the correct. So like I'm not, you know, I'm not Britney.
Gotcha.
Like, I don't want to be. I love her, but I don't want to be her. Like, so I think, you know, that definitely influenced like my direction of where I'm going. Like in the studio, we always say like, you know, or especially early on, we're like, where do you want to be? I said, I want to fall in like the Pink lane, the Paramore lane. Like they're doing cool. I swear, they're doing. Am I allowed to swear in this podcast?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, you can.
Like,
they're doing some cool shit.
Like, yeah, I was like, they're doing like cool shit. But they are. And so, but like, that's more of the lane other than like, you know, I'm not a Sabrina Carpenter. So like that makes a difference when I'm like in the studio making music. So I always lean, especially my first album, we were like, how do we want to design these tracks? I'm like, I want to design them like old rock and roll.
Gotcha.
Like I want there to be very distinct, like, guitar line, bass line, drum line, like, you know, maybe 2 guitar lines so that, you know, when we play on stage, it really brings like a cool aura. So that was always important to me. So, but I think a lot of that is from growing up in Detroit.
Gotcha.
And then moving here, you know, there's definitely a lot of New York in my music.
Of course.
But I think that's always the case, no matter where you live. I feel like when you live in a city and you start making music, that's how it goes.
Sure.
So I think I do a pretty good job at combining those two.
Gotcha.
But that's where I got it from, for sure. Detroit Rock City, baby.
You see, Detroit Rock City. Yes, Detroit has an incredible music scene. Like I'm a hip hop enthusiast, and there's a humongous community and a humongous pool of talent out there.
Yeah.
You know, Jay Dilla was from there, Eminem is from there.
Absolutely.
There's a bunch of talented guys. Do you feel like, as a person from Detroit coming to a big city, that's something that you kind of like wear on your sleeve, that you are from Detroit and that you're willing to assimilate yourself with, you know, being here in the Big Apple or being just on the big scene?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a city person. Like I think there's just city people and there's not. I've always been a city person. So for me, I think the transition was maybe easier because like I love the environment.
Gotcha.
And to me, like New York is like a perfect city. Like I've been to, you know, a lot of big cities all around the world, and this is like a perfect city. And, you know, I'm from Detroit. I always say I'm from Detroit, but I think I've lived in New York my entire adult life, literally. So it's almost a hard question when people are like, where are you from?
Right.
Because like, I grew up in Detroit as a kid. I've spent my entire adult life in New York.
Yeah.
So it's almost like I feel like New Yorkers are probably going to sue me for saying this, but like I feel like I'm half from here because I don't really know anything else as an adult. Like, you know, I moved here when I was 19. Like I didn't live alone in Detroit. Like I didn't, you know, I was a kid.
Right.
So it's kind of like almost like 2 different lives, which is cool. Like I got like I don't know, it's 2 very different experiences.
Yeah, no, it's funny. So before you showed up for the recording, I was talking to the guys in the back, and they were like, "Oh, so who's the guest?" And I said, "You know, it's Emily Ryan. She's a rock and roll star, aspiring." And I said, "You know, she's got where's she from?" I said, "Well, she's from Detroit, but I think she's working on her dual citizenship."
Yeah, exactly. I've been here for 10 years. I know that's like a thing. The people are like, you know, I have been here. I've done actually more than 10 years now. But yeah, it's my dual citizenship, I think.
So as a young child, you performed vocally When you were in Detroit, when you were in high school,
Yeah.
you were the lead. You were the lead in your choir.
I did all sorts of stuff. I was like a monster. I was the kid that like if it was a music program, I was doing it.
Gotcha.
Like offered by my school or whatever it
Gotcha.
was. So I did like all kinds of choirs. I did like all the normal choirs, and then I did the competitive choirs, and then I did theater, and then I did like the smaller theater shows, and then I did competitive acting.
Gotcha.
Like literally, if it was a performing art,
You're in.
sign me up.
Signed up.
Yeah, immediately.
Do you think that it was easy for you to take those tools and apply it to what you're doing now as you're maturing as an artist?
Yeah, I think it definitely helped. I mean, it got me on stage all the time. Like from the time I was like a little kid, like really until the time I moved here, I was on stage constantly, like every week, constantly, because you know between competitions and whatever. So that's great because I'm almost like immune to like people are like, oh my god, don't you get scared? No, like because I've been doing it my whole life. Like, and the room size doesn't really matter. It's like the, you know, activity of it.
Sure.
But that helped for sure. And it definitely taught me, even though it's not the same style that I'm doing now, it taught me a lot of tips and tricks and, you know, really good warm-ups and really good, almost like prepping, like to get on stage. It taught me like stuff like that I definitely still do.
Got you. No, it's important. Like stage presence is an important thing. I was watching your performance online, and I think that, you know, like, this is a corner store. Traffic do happen.
New York City.
But like the attention to detail when you're performing in front of live people is a lot different from you recording when you're recording in the booth. Do you prefer being in front of the people and feeling that energy, or do you feel like you're more it's easier for you to tap in when you're on the recording side?
That's a great question. I think they're just very different. So like I like them both equally in like different ways. Like I love to be in the studio because I think the studio is like you can make all the mistakes and you get to be really creative. And like sometimes there's something fun in like figuring out like a melody line and like taking 5 takes of something to like really place it in a song. Like I think that's fun. And I'm, you know, lucky and I've worked with some fabulous producers and like that's its own like environment because it's like very safe. Like it's very like make 100 mistakes and get really creative. And for me as an artist, that's so fun.
Right.
Like building out a song is so fun, but it's very different from like getting on stage. Like when I get on stage, I am like very much a perfectionist.
Got you.
And like the show will run like this because but not in a mean way, but because we've rehearsed it 100 times like this.
Of course.
So like, you know, not that I'm like mean to myself. I know it's live. So like things are going to go wrong.
Right.
That's, you know, the nature of the beast. But I think it's very different. Like I love being on stage. Like I would be on stage every single week if, you know, somebody would buy tickets.
Yes.
Like,
oh, listen,
you know,
we're going to put the link in here. We're going to put the link down there.
Please.
Buy some tickets.
I have another show coming up. Buy tickets, please. But like if I could, I love to be on stage. But I think mentally they're two very different things. Like it's going from like the creative thing to the performative thing. And I like them both for very different ways. Right. But I don't think for me they're the same game. Because like when I'm going on stage, like I'm going on stage. Yes. Like we got a set list.
Yes.
Like we're gonna
bust these songs out one after the
perfect because I sing. For those of you who don't know, I do everything live. So there's no like backtrack. Like I'm singing live, and some of my songs are like.
Yeah, if you play the track behind you with the vocals, you're corny to me. As a person like that goes to concerts, I always used to be like, what's the point?
Yeah.
If you're playing the track behind you, like you're out here to sing,
yeah.
You're out here to rap, you're out here to play. You know, one thing about rock and roll music, which is great when you go to shows, and I saw this at the highest level. I'll give y'all a little story. Before Prince passed away.
Oh wow.
He got honored at the MTV Awards. He got the Video Vanguard Award.
Nice.
And his band was playing at the Old City Winery, not the new one. The new one's on the
over
river.
Here.
But they're playing at the old one, and his band, it was a 3-female band.
Okay.
So it's a guitarist, a drummer, and a bassist.
Yeah.
So they played the whole week. So he's known to like hop in and perform with his band. So the night of the MTV Awards, a friend of mine that used to own an establishment where the guys at City Winery used to frequent, they invited him to go and watch Prince because they heard that Prince was coming in.
Wow.
So, and he had a star-studded. CeeLo Green was there.
Cool. I like him.
Yeah, he was
Cool.
actually amazing. Dougie Fresh was there. He had New Power Generation, which was his old band. They performed, and then he ended up coming out at about like 1 a.m. and played for 4 hours.
No, that's wild.
And what I loved about his show was, first of all, he did only 4 of his own records, and he did each song playing one different instrument with his band.
That's crazy.
Right?
That's like crazy shit.
He did Darling Nikki on a keyboard with no guitar, no nothing. Like, it was amazing. But when he did the encore, every band was up there, and every band got highlighted. Every instrument was doing their solo. Everybody was.
Cool.
Is that something that you feel sets apart the art form of rock and roll, where, you know, everybody gets to, you know, really pretty much like get their shit off in front of the crowd? Is that something that you think that rock and roll kind of like, you know,
does?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. I think, like, you know, if you go see a pop show, and again, I'm not shading a pop show by any means, because what, you know, those girls do is its own monster.
Yes, it is.
But like, you never, like, they may say thanks to my band, but like, you almost don't see the band. Like, they're behind a set, it's just like a different, you know, even with like a hip hop show, like you don't see the band. Like, sometimes there's a DJ, like maybe there's a guy on like a piano, like, but it's really like there's no band.
Yes.
So like, I think, that's definitely what kind of sets the genres apart.
Right.
Like, I think the only pop person, which is funny because she's my favorite, but Gaga does put her band like in the stage. And they do solos and they all get their little parts. I think she's probably one of the only pop artists that does it. So, and I love it. Like, those shows are awesome because she does what others aren't doing.
I think she has that, she's from New York City. I mean, FYI. But I do think that because she plays instruments too, I think that she has that, you know, that feel that, you know, they are also a part of this journey with us. She makes it
important.
You know? I mean, I've been noticing more lately that a lot more hip hop artists have been incorporating bands in their show.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is really dope, because I think that one of the biggest misconceptions is that there's not a lot of instrumentation with hip hop music.
Yeah.
And I think if you do any music form, that's just not true.
Yeah.
That, you know, bass lines are created just the same way.
Sure.
Where you punch in your percussion is the same way. Talk about your writing process, because I think you're for those who will come and see your show or listen to your music, you have a very interesting style.
Sure.
Talk us through your process of how you get your thoughts. What's your process in writing? Was it a difficult thing at first and you've matured to be easier, or was it something that just,
I think it depends on the song. So I like to co-write everything. I know sometimes that's controversial, but I think music comes out better when you're bouncing ideas. So I don't have 10 people in the room. I literally mean 2 people. Like, I've seen those tracks that have like 15 writers. I'm like, how did we get here? I write everything with one other person.
Okay.
Usually just whoever my producer is.
Okay.
Because I play piano a little bit, but not to the point, like I could play it on stage, but not to where I'm like proficient. Like, I'm going to pull, there's no Beethoven happening here. Okay. But I think writing with somebody who's like very proficient in like an instrument, or like a producer who's like, you know, on Pro Tools and has all the buttons, is really helpful for like my brain process. And I think it makes better music. So a lot of times, and this is not always, but a lot of times I come into the studio with 2 lines of an idea, maybe 2 lyrics written, maybe 4 lines or 16 lines of a melody with 2 lines written on it. And I go in and I just sing it at my producer, like dry, like this. And I'm like, all right, I got these 2 lines and this melody. Like, what do we think about this? And a lot of times they're like, love that. Let me build that out. Like, give me 10 minutes. And then they'll build out maybe a first verse.
Gotcha.
And then it'll be like, okay, you know, and then maybe he'll be like, I got another line, and we'll like throw that 3rd line in, and then we'll write kind of back and forth like that. Not line by line, but
no, that's cool.
It's cool because it usually creates a really cool product, because like you're getting somebody who's really proficient in maybe 4 or 5 instruments, depending on what producer I'm working with.
It's like that sharpening, that iron is sharpening your iron.
And then sometimes like they'll write, you know, a guitar line, and I'll be like, okay, I love that, except I wasn't thinking of that high note, like pull it down a little bit, like on the last loop, like, or get rid of that. Can we add like more, I don't know, snare, or
Right.
like, can we add like a heavier drum beat? And then we go back and forth like that. And all of a sudden a song's done.
Yes.
So I like it like that because it's faster, maybe,
Gotcha.
but I think more creative. Because like just what comes out of my brain could be good,
Right.
but I'm not trying for good. I'm trying for Grammys like this.
Yes. Hey, there you go.
Like,
That's
so,
that's the
you
that's
know,
the goal for sure.
But I think sometimes that takes like more than one opinion. You know, if I played 10 instruments and could produce myself, different story. but like, you know,
Yeah.
I'm really good at the things I'm
Listen,
good at.
yes.
I don't, you know.
Stick to your strengths, folks.
I
Stick to your
stick
strengths.
to what I know,
Yes.
you know? But I write most of my songs like that.
Gotcha.
Sometimes when I walk into the studio, you know, my producer will look at me and be like, what do you got today? I'll be like, honestly, nothing. And we'll talk for like 10 minutes. And sometimes he'll either say something or I'll say something. I'll be like, you know what? That's a great line. Let's just pull it. And, you know, or sometimes it's as simple as like, I watched a really crazy movie.
Right.
Let's like use that.
Yeah.
Like that's a plot. Like let's write a song based on that.
Inspiration could get pulled from anywhere. That's the beauty of music, I think.
Yeah.
Among any other genre. Yeah, with book writing and stuff like that, people draw from experience. But I think just you even walking in the street and being like, yo, that guy almost died.
Yeah. I mean, but really, like you can
Let me just write this.
It only takes a line. Like you can write a whole song on like one great line. Like really, because the goal is to tell a story.
Yes.
Like, so like that's all you need.
Yes, indeedy.
Like,
see, you songwriters out there, take a little jewel, you know, put it in your pad.
Yeah.
Speaking of the process of making songs, so now you write records and you release them. One of the biggest things that we talk about here is the direct to consumer model.
Sure.
Are you pro the model? Are you negative the model? If you are pro the model, what are the things you can be pro the model of something and not be a fan of certain intricacies about it?
Sure.
What would you say is the pluses of it if you lean that way, and what are the minuses?
So first question, are you talking about direct to consumer model as in like independent artist model?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I'm not ultra for it. I am independent currently. It's so expensive. Like it's so expensive. So I think honestly, like I would love to sign a major. And I know people are like, well, you have to give away so much. Okay. But like, I also would not be so poor. Like really. Because basically what happens is like, you know, I have my own team and I'm very lucky to have a team that I love. Like,
Gotcha.
you know, my manager was my best friend for 10 years before she was my manager.
Gotcha.
Like I love my team and I have, you know, a lot of great people around me, but it's really hard because you're constantly making these selections of like, okay, who are we going to use for PR? Like, okay, we did that one. They did a great job, but now we need somebody a little bigger. So you're constantly searching for like a new net of people.
Gotcha.
And you're throwing a lot of money and guessing.
Yes.
Because you have to, right?
You're just throwing it on the wall.
If you're going to spend all this money to make a song, you need to spend more money than you spent to make the song to promote the song.
Correct.
And when you're not a major label, you have to get those resources from a lot of different spaces that cost a lot of different money.
Yes.
Like you need somebody who does playlisting and maybe multiple people that do playlisting, and then somebody for radio, and then somebody for, you know, social media, and not like face-to-face social media like Instagram, but like faceless social media. And then, you know, you just need all these people. And when you're not at a label and they're not all in one place sitting in front of you waiting to be helpful, you're spending a lot of time like managing and sourcing things. And don't get me wrong, like you can do it, like I'm doing it, but it's super time consuming. It's super, I don't want to say risky because like we're vetting these people, but like it's still risky. Like you don't.
Yeah, everything's a gamble if you really want to. If you really want to do something like it's gonna be a gamble for sure.
You want to do something big, you're, you know, playing a game, and like I've been very lucky and I've had, you know, a lot of successes, but like I'd be so dumb to be like, it wouldn't be helpful to have a label. It would be so helpful to have, like, it would be great. Because now what's happening is I'm at the point in where like I have a great team and I have, you know, people that do, you know, great for radio and they're great for playlisting. But now we're at the point of like, okay, we want to do more shows. So now it's like, okay, what do we do now? We hire
You need a promoter now.
A promoter or an agent, and there's like, these are all problems that I will solve or my team will solve, but it's like a crazy. It gets
it's like the higher you get, it's like the more problems you got.
Keep hiring people, which like okay, cool, but like you're hiring people on like what budget? Like the budget I can make. Like I'm already doing music, 60 hours a week?
Yes.
So it's the budget of what I can make working another 20 hours a week, like on the side. So that's where it gets like hard. So I understand where people are like, so it's great to be independent. Like absolutely. Like you can own all of your stuff and you can, but like I'm not doing this because I want to own, like, sure, it'd be great to keep all my ownership, but that's not why I'm doing this. Like, I'm doing this because I want to make people happy and I want to play sold out shows and I want to tour all over the world and I want to do the music thing.
Right.
And like, I don't have the capacity to do that by myself. So like, sign me up for the help.
Hey, Sony Music. Yeah, sign Emily Ryan, bro.
Please help.
Stop fronting.
But that, that's the reality of it. Like, I think being independent is great if your goal is to like do this as a part-time job and like make some good music and play shows around New York City. And like, if you're happy as an artist doing that, great. But if you want to be me and you want to sell out MSG 19 nights in a row and, win 10 Grammys, not great. Could be better.
Yes. That's a fact.
Yeah. Even though like, it's so far so good.
Right.
It could always be better.
Well, I think like now, I think the biggest thing with a lot of independent artists is that they want to get to a place where it's more of a collaborative with a major, where it's more of, I bring this to the table. I just need you to get me on every festival.
Sure.
I need you to get me on every big stage. I need you to do that. And that is a road that I think a lot of folks that are in that avenue do. And that is it's a daunting task.
I think in a perfect world, like if I could pick everything, I'd sign like a 50-50 deal with like a major. And then it's like, okay, cool. Like, something with like a, you can't shelf me clause.
Yes.
And like, but like something like that where it's like,
I'm not writing my top 10 hits for somebody else.
Right.
Maybe on
like,
the radio.
Yeah, exactly. Like, definitely like put a clause in there. Like you have to release my music and, you have to, but like something like that. Absolutely. Like more collaborative with a label. Sure. But like, that's perfectly ideal. Like, are most people going to get that? No. Like,
and trust me, I'm all for like I'm not of the thinking of there's only one way to do something.
No.
I think there are multiple ways of doing it. One, Nori, who does Drink Champs.
Okay.
He's the funniest because more than the majority say no, I'd rather be independent. And he goes, no, I want to be on the major label. They go, why? He goes, because when I go to concerts and I go to have to do shows, I want to be in the Marriott.
Sure.
I want lobster, I want caviar.
But I want that for my team.
Right, exactly.
Like I want to look at my manager and be like, yeah, this is your suite. Cool. Yeah. Like I want that for not just me.
Not just for your team. Exactly.
Yeah, like I want that for everybody who's working so hard to make my career a career.
Yes.
Like, I want my poor husband to like, have some joy and not like lug around my merch. Like I want, I want my husband to not work as my roadie. Like,
that's hilarious.
That's
true.
I want my manager to have nice things with her husband. Like, I want my team to have nice things.
For
so
sure.
like, I'm not naive to the fact that like, can a major label do that for me? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Then like sign me up.
Yes.
Like
sign her up, man.
Sign me
Sony
up.
Music, sign her up.
Help.
No.
I'm really great. Like we can do an album fast here.
It's funny you mention your team.
Yeah.
Reason why I'm bringing this up, I went a couple of weekends, 2 weeks ago, I went to Kent State University. So before I started doing this, I used to work in a recreation center. So I used to run a youth league.
Nice.
And that youth league, we used to do a summer camp and an after-school program. So one of the kids in our program, his name was Jimmy Hall. He went to Kent State University, and he got inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Oh my God, amazing.
Right, so he was one of, I think, 10 inductees.
Wow.
So they had all sports. They had a female softball player, female basketball player, 2 shot putters, male and female. they gave homage to one of the first women's golf team of the school, which actually is like nationally recognized. And every person that got up there spoke about the people that sacrifice for them, so that they can attain this dream. Speak about your team and how like vital it is for you to have them, help you put you into the positions where you can actually, start leveraging yourself with, record labels and contracts and things of that matter.
Yeah, I always say this, and I say it, and I think people think I'm joking, but I'm not joking. So like I mentioned earlier, my best friend, who's been, my best friend forever, is now my manager as of like the last, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years.
Right.
I always say I would die without her. Like, I say that, and people think I'm joking. I am not joking. Like, I need that woman.
Got you.
Mostly because she's really good at the things that I'm not really good at.
Got you.
Like, she, like, I'm a good talker,
yes.
But like if I need to form like a formal email, I'm no good. I'm like, can I swear in this? Like,
yeah,
she's
absolutely.
like, absolutely not. We can't. Like, she's like, well, absolutely not. Like, we can't say those things. Okay, great. Thank you for telling me. Like, she can tell in 2 seconds, like if an email is a real email or a fake email.
Right.
And, she can read a contract and spot 10 red flags. Like, I can read a contract well. I minored in law, but
right.
like she just sees things really fast that like go over my head because like I think like the artist, like it's 2 different things.
Yes.
And she's so good at the things that I am not so good at.
Correct.
Like, and she unbelievably helpful. The same thing with like my husband, like he really funds my career.
Right.
And like I'm so lucky because I wouldn't be able to do these things. Yes. And like, correct. Does he ever complain? No. Like, does Amber ever complain? No. Like, I book a show. Okay, great. I'll be there. Like, I'll tell you what time I'll be there. I booked your hair and makeup, whatever right. It is. Like, without them, like, I couldn't do this.
Correct.
Like, I couldn't do it. So I'm very lucky that I've had them. And the rest of my team, sometimes changes decently often, and not for a bad, just for we're growing
yes.
and, we're,
sure.
Getting bigger. And so we're hiring bigger. But even though like the people that have come on for a year and have been so helpful, like I'm so lucky, like yes. Thank you for wanting to work with me because yes. Getting people to work with smaller artists is hard. Like you have to be like, hey, I'm actually good at this. Like, right. I swear I won't hurt your data. Like, but like, it's like a game and it's true. You have to prove, me or Amber has to go and be like, look, like, we'll be good for you. We swear.
Right.
And then like, luckily we are like, I'm going to go, but like, it's one of those things that's, can be hard. So like, I'm very lucky for anybody yes. who's done well and been on my team, but like Amber and Sean, oh my God, like I would die without them, like literally die. So
there's no one people show. There's no one person show.
No one person show. Not in this industry.
And overnight success takes 10 years. I tell people this all the time. Like I could not do this without the guys behind the camera.
Yeah.
My boy River Cam and Graphs over there. They're the intricate part because there was a time where I was like, I don't even want to do this no more.
No, it's hard.
I got a phone call like, nah, we need to record, man. Like, let's do this one more time. I got somebody to shoot. Because listen, I think whenever you can take something off your plate, yes. where you can just concentrate on being the talent, I think that it just helps you immensely. Where you could just. Okay, I could just think creatively because I don't got to worry about this contract. I don't have to worry about when the merchandise is being delivered. I don't need to worry about what time I have to schedule a photo shoot. I don't have to schedule the band because I have one person that does that for me.
Yeah.
I have this person that does that for me. So I think that folks that are in the industry of entertainment, film, music, you have to have a good team.
You do. It's someone you trust. I think in music specifically, you have to at least have one person that you really trust because like it's scary out here.
I have one person, they'll tell me like, yo, is this a good interview? No, yo, Nick, it was kind of whack.
Exactly. But it matters.
Yes,
you
it does.
Need it. Like it's the same thing. Like I can go to Amber and I can ask her what she's going to tell me the truth. She does not care to hurt my feelings, which is perfect.
Right.
Please hurt my feelings before the public does. Please do it. Like,
yes.
Please. Like, but those people are important.
Yes, they are.
Like, they're so important.
No, that's a fact. I could not agree with you more.
Yeah.
So, Emily, That concludes the interview part of this show.
I love
but
it.
Now we're going to do a little thing called This or That.
This or that.
Yes, and we're going to do this a little differently.
Oh, God, here we go.
So we're going to do this kind of like survival rules. So I'm going to give you 2 artists.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a artist.
Okay.
And if you like them, they stay. And the one you don't like, they go until you run the gambit.
All right, let's go. Oh, now I'm scared.
Okay, so we're going to start with Christina Aguilera. Are you a fan?
Yeah, I like Christina Aguilera.
Christina Aguilera or Britney Spears?
Fuck. Well, we're just starting really hard. Christina Aguilera.
Christina Aguilera or Avril Lavigne?
Christina Aguilera. God. I feel like I'm already getting canceled on the. Oh, I'm like losing content. It's going to hell. Okay, keep going.
Christina Aguilera or Avril Lavigne?
Christina Aguilera.
Okay. Christina Aguilera or Billie Eilish?
Billie Eilish. Billie
Eilish or Taylor Swift?
No!
Billie Eilish or Taylor Swift?
No! Taylor Swift.
Okay, Taylor Swift or Beyonce?
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift or Madonna?
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift or Lady Gaga?
Lady Gaga. This is crazy. Okay. Keep going. I'm ready.
Lady Gaga or the Beatles?
Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga or Motley Crue?
Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga or Bad Bunny?
Lady Gaga.
Gaga. So Lady Gaga is.
She's always gonna win.
Always gonna win.
She's always gonna win.
What do you love about Lady Gaga as an artist? What is it about her that draws you to her as her being your favorite artist?
She's so like insane. Like I mean that in a good way. She's like one of those minds, like those artist minds that's just like so passionate, but also so talented. And she's created something that's like bigger than her. Gotcha. But her music is still so good.
Yes.
Like I feel like a lot of people who get really big, like they release 3 really good albums and then they have like 4 not so good albums and then they maybe have a good album. Really, I love all of her albums for different reasons because they're kind of in different genres. But if you go see her live, it's insane. She's insane. Like she plays for like 3 hours. The full band, like the best dancers you've ever seen ever. Like I don't know how she's casting these dancers. They are like they're like superhuman. No. They're like forget it. Like other people have dancers. She has like the most superhuman dancers ever. They're insane. So this production is like it's already like the best. I've seen a million shows. Her production is the best production. But then she goes out there. She sings on a dry mic. That's like unheard of. There's not just no backtrack. That mic is like the most amount of live. Yes. Like there's like no reverb, there's no nothing. And she sounds incredible. And then every show she does a piano segment. So she takes, usually it's like 3 or 4 songs, and does them. Just piano and this dry mic. And in these huge stadiums. And it's like, you're just looking at her and you're like, this is unbelievable. Like, and she's been doing it since the beginning of her career. Yeah. Because I've never met, like I've seen all the shows. Like I am the biggest. Yeah. but I don't say that from like, just like a I'm her fan perspective. From like an artist perspective, what she's doing is like, no one's doing it. She's amazing. People aren't doing it.
I mean, like, Bad Bunny had the biggest moment of his life and he had her up there.
I would call her immediately.
You know, and he's like a humongous, he's like, I don't know, you might have to arm wrestle him to see who's number 1.
Yeah. I mean, but like he called her because she's, you know, he says that she's his favorite. Yeah. Like, because she's just so, I don't know. I also think she's kind. Like, I think she's genuinely like kind and she's happy to be doing what she's doing, which you can tell.
I think so too.
Like,
it shows her music. It shows her like when you interviews, she looks like a person like you could like meet at a coffee shop and just
I want to go to the bar and get a drink with her.
Yes,
like,
cheers it up.
I think it would be fun, but I don't think everybody would be fun.
Right.
Like,
no, I don't think so either.
And I don't mean that in like a bad way. I just think like she's cool
Yes.
and she's talented. Like,
yes, and she's from New York City.
And she's from New York City.
Okay, Emily, I gotta ask you one more question.
I'm ready.
Before you run out here,
I think.
and then we're gonna let you shameless plug.
Sign me up.
Trust me, shameless
Just
plug.
don't make me pick between Billie Eilish and Christina Aguilera.
So we ask every guest that comes up here if you have a dinner party.
Okay.
It's a table of 5.
Ooh.
So it's you and 4 people. Who are your 4 guests?
Dead or alive?
Dead or alive.
Oh shit. Okay. Let's see. Lady Gaga. It's my fastest guess. Okay, 4 people, dead or alive. Ooh, let's see. Robin Williams.
Boom.
I think that's a good one.
I think so too.
Anthony Bourdain.
That's another one.
Ed Sheeran.
Boom. Ed Sheeran. So we got Ed Sheeran. We got Anthony Bourdain, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Robin Williams, rest in peace. Lady Gaga and
I think.
Emily Ryan. I have one more question for you.
I'm ready.
Sitting with those 4 people,
Yeah.
what would you want to take from that conversation with the 4 of them?
You know how interesting those 4 motherfuckers are?
Yes,
I don't even know. I don't even have like a good question. I think like sit me at a table and pour us all like a glass of wine and just like
soak it all in.
Watch. Yeah. Because like I can't even imagine, like think of how fun that dinner party would be.
I think it's pretty interesting.
It'd be so interesting.
One of the more interesting ones, I would say.
I think it'd be so fun.
On the corner store here.
Like, and I just want to hear it. Like, I just want to talk.
I want to hear it now too. Right, I want to be the waiter.
Talk and like I'll listen. Like, I don't even have like a good question other than just like tell me a story. Like, tell me like what do we got? Like, I just think it'd be great. It'd be a crazy.
I think so too.
A crazy party.
Emily, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Before you leave, please plug them in on anything you have, your social media.
Yeah.
Plug it, speak it to the camera, let them know.
So I'm Emily Ryan. You can find me on all social media at This Is Emily Ryan. I have a show coming up on April 9th. I'm playing the Delancey. The ticket link is in my bio on all my social media, and I'm sure they'll link it here because they're nice to me.
Yes, we will.
Yeah, follow along. You can find me on Spotify and Apple Music and all of the streaming platforms at Emily Ryan.
Run those numbers up for Emily Ryan. Super duper talented. Once again, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
You're the greatest.
Thank you.
Like, share, subscribe, comment.
I'll click all the buttons.
Hope you enjoy. We'll see you at the corner store. And remember, as always, stop making stupid people famous.
Yeah, don't do that.
Peace.
Hi, I'm Emily Ryan, and this is Caps Cornerstore.
Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment. Hope you enjoy, and see you at the corner store. Peace.